It's that time of year again. It's time for Toys for Tots. And that's what we're talking about today on the podcast. Welcome back to the podcast, Grayson County. I'm Lieutenant Jeremy Cox, and with me today is Taylor Price, and we're talking about Toys for Tots here in Grayson County. So, tell me a little bit about the organization, how you came to be involved with it, and then just kind of the intricacies that go along with it leading up to, I guess, that season.
Okay. Well, most people know of Toys for Tots at the national level. What a lot of our community doesn't realize is there are close to 880 individual campaigns across the United States that operate either by Marines or civilians, all on volunteer time. We work tirelessly through the season to make sure all of these kiddos get Christmas. And what that means is on October 1st, we kick our season off. We start taking applications for volunteers. We take applications for nonprofit agencies. We take applications for individual families. And we fill those orders all the way through Christmas season up until Christmas Day. And then we clean up and count and all that stuff through January 15th. One of the things we've been working on here in Grayson County is becoming more of a year-round force for good.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing more disaster relief. So a lot of people don't know that Toys for Tots is permitted to help anytime there is a tornado, a fire, flood, anything that would displace a child from their belongings.
Oh, wow, yeah.
We can certainly help, replace those items for the child. So
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people probably don't even think about that because they're so used to, the commercials and things
yeah,
where it's Christmas, it's Christmas. But you are absolutely right, and as we have experienced here in Texas, a lot of times there are, these natural disaster events and just, even fires and things like that happen. And, the it could damage the home, it could damage, the life of the family as a whole, but for the child, losing all of those possessions can be devastating.
absolutely. And that's why our community partnerships, with people like you guys are so important to us because you guys are on the forefront of these, things happening. You're usually the first people to respond there, and you're seeing tragedy, right before your eyes. So anything that we can do as an organization to help, ease that child's pain or, bring any type of comfort to that child, that's obviously what we would want to do, in their time of need. So again, we're working tirelessly through Christmas season,
Oh, yeah.
but all year round, we realize that the kids that are in need at Christmas are also in need, throughout the year. So we've worked on doing more things like, helping at birthday time, helping parents that maybe can't afford a gift. So we've been doing things like that. We've been helping raise our foster care awareness. We recently donated about 75 backpacks for our back to school, drive to
Wow.
our local CPS office. So we're trying to do more throughout the year, while we'll always be a Christmas organization.
Yes.
And that's really where our heart is. We want to be sure our community knows we're here to support them year round.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's a lot. And you mentioned being a force for good here in Grayson County. And so, this Toys for Tots organization is Grayson County's Toys for Tots
Correct.
chapter.
Correct.
Okay. And so, what is your position there? Like, how did you get to be involved in it? And then what is it that you do for the organization itself?
I like to say I was tricked into becoming involved. I was going through a major career change, and my mom had heard that our local chapter needed a coordinator because the lady who did it before me was retiring. So she left a sticky note on my desk with some contact information. She did not tell me that it was not a paid position.
Oh, wow.
She let me get all the way through the application process. And then someone there at the foundation had said to me, "You know, this is an unpaid position, right?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, that's okay, you know."
Yeah.
And so I was already too far into it and cared about it too much, you know, to turn around at that point. And part of that is because I received gifts from Toys for Tots whenever I was a child. So I
Wow.
remember how much hope that brought to me, and it made me feel like someone out there cares about me, you know, in my time of need. And if I can do that for another kid, then I'm here for it all day
Yeah.
long, especially right here in our own community where we're going to church with these kids. You know, these kids are on the sports team with my kids, and, you know, we're seeing them at the store or what have you. If I can be a part of them feeling like someone out there cares for them, I'm definitely going to do it. You know, no matter how many hours I have to work unpaid, no matter how many, you know, late nights or early mornings, or you know, how long I have to stand up and preach and sound crazy and beg for donations, then, you know, I'm here for it. So
Absolutely.
that's how I got this job, and I started in 2023. And since then, our campaign has doubled in size every single year. Um, Last year, being our biggest year, we served just over 7,300 kids right here locally.
Man,
We distributed 43,000 toys last year at Christmas time, which is astonishing.
that
You know,
is.
um, as beautiful of a thing that it is that we were able to complete that mission, it is also heartbreaking to know that there are that many families in need right here in our own community. So it's kind of a double-edged sword,
Yeah.
you know.
And that's, in reality, that's probably something that a lot of people don't think about, right? You go to the store, you come home, you live your life, you do your things with your family, and maybe you're in a position where, you don't have to worry about where those gifts are going to come from,
Yeah.
or your family's needs. But we forget sometimes that, the person that you pass by in the grocery store might be concerned about those same things. And, as parents, a lot of times, we try to hide those things or disguise those things from the children, but they know too,
Yeah.
right? And so, that causes them stress. They wonder if they're going to get anything, or they wonder, or they're concerned about their family. And a lot of times, sometimes these kids, that they're less concerned about themselves even, and more concerned about their family. And maybe, oh, I don't need anything, but you make sure you give something to one of my siblings or something like that.
Yeah, you're
And
exactly right. You know, early December when they're going to school and coming home and their friends are talking about how many gifts they have under the tree and which one they think are theirs, when they look under the tree and, you know, they don't see anything, they do start to get worried whether they say something about it or not. And I think the common misconception is that when you go out in public, you'll know who's in need and who's not, and that is not always true.
Yeah.
You know, people who look just like me and you
Mhm.
know, people from all different types of socioeconomic status, you know, they need help. You know,
Yep.
everyone falls on hard times, and this is a cruel world. You know, especially
Yeah.
financially right now.
Yeah,
You know, it takes two or more incomes, you know, to run a household,
absolutely.
and parents are struggling. Grandparents that are raising grandkids are struggling. We don't discriminate. We help everyone. So, you know, as long as you have legal guardianship of the child, you can put an application in starting October 1st. We do start distributing those toys, you know, early December. We do have about 25 local nonprofits that we serve before we serve our families. And something I wanted to talk to you a little bit about today
Mhm.
is the cycle of the toy, is what I like to call it, because a lot of people get confused about what happens to the toy once they put it in that box, and really how many families we're touching here in the community.
Yeah.
So once you purchase that toy,
Mhm.
Jeremy, and you put it in that box there at Walmart, when we come and we pick up that full box of toys, we take it back to the warehouse and we count it and we sort it. We put those in different age groups, different genders, and such. And then we will receive an order from your local nonprofits, say like your local crisis center or your church or the resale barn or Grand Central Station, other places like that in our community, will receive the order from them. And it will say, you know, we have 100 boys and 100 girls, and it'll break them into age categories. So we package that order for them. We like to be able to give, one of the things we take pride here in Grayson County is we like to give every kid 3 toys. We like to give them a main toy, and then we like to give them a book or a ball in an outside game or stuffed animal. So we like to, you know, make sure that they have a decent Christmas and we're not just giving them one small item. So we have successfully been able to do that every year, and we hope to keep that going. But we package those items. That nonprofit comes to pick them up, and then you'll see them post on social media that they're doing, you know, their Christmas drive or to come and apply for assistance, and that's how they get the toys to give out to the community. So once we serve all of our nonprofits, then we start serving our families, you know, that are missed by those nonprofits. So people sometimes are prideful and, you know, don't want to go in and ask for help. So
Yeah.
our online application gives people the privacy, you know, that they need to ask for help without anyone else knowing. So
Okay. And where would they find that online application? Is it on your website?
it is on our website, and those right now they cannot be found, but on October 1st they will open. So it's never too early to apply for assistance. You know, Christmas is December 25th. Every year we like
Every
to
year.
reiterate that. So please do not wait until the week before Christmas. If you are paycheck to paycheck now, if you are just a couple of paychecks away from, you know, losing everything, we like to encourage you to go ahead and apply for assistance. If you think you might need assistance but you're unsure, please go ahead and apply for assistance. And if you don't need it when we contact you, you can let us know at that time that you no longer need the assistance. But please apply. That way we know, you know, what the numbers we're looking at, and we can give those to our local, you know, sponsors. And when we're out, you know, doing our toy drives, we know how many toys that we need.
Yeah.
So.
All right. All right, Grayson County. Well, you know, I know here at the Sheriff's Office we enjoy taking part in the Toys for Tots and working with y'all over there. And that campaign kickoff is coming, right? It's October 1st. So we want to make sure that we plan ahead. And just like what we talked about, you know, December 25th comes around every year, oddly enough, at the same time. So we know you've got to take care of your own family, but if you do have a little bit of room in the budget to help out, and you can, don't forget Toys for Tots here in Grayson County, a very worthy project, a very worthy avenue to help your fellow neighbors who are in need. And again, Taylor, thank you for coming on today and talking about this with us.
Thanks for having me, Jeremy. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. So, Grayson County, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow us here on the podcast. You can find us every Thursday at 9 a.m. And most importantly, Grayson County, stay safe.